Greetings and welcome to FactionMasters Season 7, Game 25. This is our first semi-final match between the Isle Vekkid, played by Nesle, and the Mountain Vargath, played by excile2127. Exile is with me. Welcome. Welcome to the
Hello, hello.
game that you've already played.
Yeah.
So we
This is a
finally
fun
get
one.
we finally get to see Nestle's Isle Vekkid. He used Sky Spear Avians in his first two games, and the Isle Vekkid got a bye in his first game before they had that faction alliance. So what?
Gosh, I was wondering, he mentioned that he hasn't played Vekkid yet. I'm like, how did you do that? That makes sense.
Yes, yes. So just for anyone who's not aware, how the faction alliance works is if the same player is controlling two factions that would be head to head in the bracket, then that player just gets to pick which one they're going to use for as long as that is they're in the tournament there. So Nestle has chosen Sky Spear Avians for the first couple games of this faction alliance. Now he switched to Isle Vekkid, and were you pleased to see them, or were you hoping for Sky Spear Avians?
I was actually pleased to see them. I did prep against both factions, so double the prep work. But in testing, I liked the Isle Vekkid matchup for Mountain Vargath more than I did Skyspear Avians. I think that regardless, like that kind of trio of Isle Vekkid, Skyspear Avians, and Mountain Vargath, they just kind of have like straight up games. Like, I don't know, there's tricks. Each faction has their tricks, but like it feels really honest. But even within that, though, I find that it's really hard to protect Sundervid from the threat of like Sky Assault. Any chip damage that they deal just kind of increases their like Sky Assault kill shot lines.
Mm-hmm.
So it can be pretty difficult. Also, gate pressure is something that Mountain Vargath love to have when they need it. And them just having two extra gates means that if you spend a bunch of time investing damage into their 10 gate, they have not three others, but five others that they can place. And
Yeah,
area gates can be super far away and still be useful. So, like,
especially
there's
when
a
the
few
area
things.
gates end up in the corners.
Yeah,
And as
exactly.
if you've watched his previous videos, you'll see that's it's been a very effective tactic. So it
Yeah,
makes it hard to reach them, but they can still project power.
exactly. And then also just like I'll stop talking about Skyspear in just a second, but like there's also the dive threat of just like trapping Sundervid by like flying behind him. So yeah, there's a lot of things that honestly both factions have against Mountain Vargath, but overall I think I liked the matchup more against Alvekid.
Okay, so is I'll just ask you one more question here so we can get underway without too much further ado. Quen in the opening hand, is this going to be a Quen game or probably
Quinn in the
not?
open hand is great in this matchup because you can discard her for Magic turn one and not have to worry about discarding a good unit. Like
Good
honestly,
answer.
it's a pretty consistent thing of like you don't want to draw all your good cards early because then you don't have them for the rest of the game. And when you need like Mountain Vargath are very consistently a deck that loves to front load Magic.
Hmm.
They love to just dump their opener, maybe playing something, but building up a Magic reserve that they can then use throughout the rest of the game. And then they slow down their discard strategy, typically by like the mid game, like the like 15, 10 cards left in deck mark, unless you're just full throttling it. Like you're just like, I don't care about econ, I'm just gonna kill you. But like regardless, I generally like to open most matchups, like Crimson Order and like other like unit spammy factions a bit less so, but generally like to open matchups with like an additional discard. So having cards that I'm like, that's fine for me to pitch, like Quen, the first battle leader. Those are things that I like to see in my opener because it's like, well, it'd be nice to draw battle leader 2 turns from now, but at least I get to discard it for magic and it's not a unit or a martial forces or a gate that I really want to play. You know what I mean? That kind of thing.
Okay. Well, let's get started then.
Yeah. This opener, much like I think a couple, not the Deepwood Grokes opener I had, but like very similar to the Sand Goblins opener I did, is just like a very just kind of chill. Like we're not full throttling it. I didn't want a brute in front of my gate because if he just plays the dancer, that brute's just gonna eat a Roko hit, a dancer
Yeah.
hit. Roko will have a sniper proc on him. The brute might just fully die, and it's just not worth it. So the idea with this opener was like, all right, let's set up. If I draw ramming advance, which I did, let's
Yeah.
set up Sundy on this line. Give him a brute as cover, also just
Mm-hmm.
because that brute needs to get out of the way. And then also just use this brute out of the front 10 gate spot to shift the dancer over and get a kill on it.
Okay. Let's see how Nestle responds.
I loved his like turn one answer. I was like, that was scary. I didn't think he could quite do this, but it turns out with the fighter he definitely can.
Oh,
But but
not what he
the
wanted to happen.
whiffs.
Yeah, the whiffs.
3 out of 7's not the
Three out of
best,
seven
but
altogether. Not great.
yeah. But I mean the brute's hurt, and like a hurt brute can sometimes be a big liability. Like you want them to be tanky, and when they're just really slow and also low HP, it can be annoying. But regardless, I get a nice turn out of it anyways. Well, honestly, it might have been better if it was dead. Regardless, whatever.
Yeah. Well, now we've got the ramming advance. Not quite enough for Varn, but close.
Yep. And here we just send it. I mean, like that front gate spot's open to
Yeah.
go block with this brute.
But yeah, he
And
does. With this sniper here, though, he does kind of protect this side of the gate, so you're not able to completely
he
surround it.
does. Yeah.
Because I just noticing if he had left this spot open, you could use the collar to shift this brute up, and then the ramming advance, and now you've got his entire gate blocked off. But this way, at least the gate is a bit protected.
Yeah, those like one raised off the gate spots are really good just in general if you're trying to defend against somebody clogging your gates.
Yeah.
But here we shift the brute out the way, and we want the extra movement. We could have honestly just shifted the collar up and moved the brute manually. The order doesn't matter. But the idea here is we're going to take 6 dice to kill a 4 HP dancer, 5 dice to kill a sniper, and then we'll just have this position where Sundy's exposed on one flank, and there's a brute that he needs to put something next to or attack with like a ranged unit like Roko to kill.
And he can only summon one thing, which makes a big
Yes.
difference too.
Yeah.
And there's a gate that you may have wanted to have, and you've got enough mana for Varn to help some of
Yep.
these backliners up. Okay.
He has another really cool turn here that was
you can do a lot
similarly
with
unexpected.
plunge. Yeah. Let's watch it. These Fleetfoot fighters are, I think, really underrated.
Oh yeah,
They allow
they're
so much
the movement
maneuverability.
tricks that they let you do is really
And
good.
they
This
only cost
Waveborn
one.
on
Yeah.
is really interesting on this fighter. I think he's just doing it because he just wants to guarantee the brute dies, which is fair because if he misses the 70%, that's a terrible spot.
Yeah.
But this Waveborn, I not that I forgot, but more so just I just didn't consider that even with one flank exposed, even without Island Smite, he also already spent the first Island Smite here, so like
Yeah.
Sundy was a bit safer having done that, which is part of the reason why I did the ramming. Regardless, he half health Sundy in a single turn and sends him ages away while also clearing that front gate spot. So this was a really good counterattack.
Yeah, even if you are sacrificing this waveform on the Fleetfoot fighter, it's pretty safe here on the Sea Shard sniper. And yeah, for all the reasons you just said. Let's see what your next move is. We got Varn.
So here I think the Stronghold and Gate were the perfect cards to draw. Also, I think maybe Marshall or I might have had that the turn before. The perfect cards to draw to like have a good response to his thing. Because if I didn't have this, I kind of have a bit of an anemic turn here where I don't do
crucial
much.
3 out of 3 there.
It was. And also the gate plus stronghold lets me reposition Sunday to just block this gate off and
Yeah.
just kind of call all the forces up.
Yeah, Nestle he's in some serious trouble now. Um, he does have a few more cards in the deck, but there's a lot of HP on his side of the board that
Yeah.
he's going to have to
And that
find a way to deal with.
protected forward gate is way better than unprotected forward gate. I like having that like collar there in front.
Yeah,
Because outside, I think of Saka Uwa, which is not one he can't summon, but two also wasn't
well,
relevant
he
in this
he
position.
could
I
he
guess he
could
could
have
have.
he could have. Yeah,
Doesn't do enough damage though to kill the collar and
yeah,
take the position in front of that gate. So if he kills, that's the only way I think that Vekkid can kill something and take the spot. Maybe Island's Might is the other one. Like there's a lot of tricks with Island's Might he can do, but he's already spent one.
yeah,
So like that collar, if he kills it, it just summon another thing there. I have the magic for it. Um, and also to kill it, he has to expose something outside of like dancer shenanigans.
yeah. That's it's really hoping to draw some more gates here, but I think maybe just focus on one side of the battlefield here. Interesting choice there. I was thinking about maybe Roko would kill the fighter so the sniper could get a couple more damage on Sunderved. Instead, he's choosing to try to put the damage on Varn instead. It's not what I would
Yep.
have expected. Not. This is the problem of all bow factions.
Sometimes the bows just don't work.
Sometimes bows
Sometimes the
just don't
swords don't
come.
work either.
It's well, it's
Um,
less often. Yeah.
yeah. Here, I think similar, like pretty good, like answer of just like kind of get out of
Surround the
dodge.
gate. Surround the gate and kill it.
That is the plan here, and so
Yeah.
there's a couple lines I was looking at because also I want to surround the gate and I also really want to kill this sniper because if I take it away, he has two attacks on his turn and he doesn't have the ability to get anything else with no second gate.
Hmm.
So there's a few lines I was considering. One is to just put a brute and then Varn it up prior to the move phase,
Hmm.
so that way it can force the sniper back one, and then you push the brute up, you move the collar to the top of the gate, and you
Yeah.
slide the left brute over. That gives you a 2 out of 3 to kill the sniper. It fully surrounds the gate. You can battle leader to roll a total of 10 dice against it. And if you 10 out of 10, great. If you don't, it'll be on like 1 or 2 HP and it's fine.
Hmm.
But the issue is that it exposes Sundervid because there's nothing to his right. And here I was kind of evaluating the position like, okay, well, if he has certain things like Second Island's Might is a big one,
With
where
a
it's just like,
plunge. Yeah.
with plunge, I think he needed double plunge if I'm not mistaken to
Well,
really like.
he's used one, I think, but yeah.
I actually don't think he used it. I think he
Oh,
discarded
did
it if
he?
I'm not
Okay. Well,
mistaken.
so that you wouldn't have
Um,
known that he discarded it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, but like even just like I was evaluating my position here is because he hasn't drawn a gate because I've gotten some good trades. He's had some bad die rolls. I've got a really good position that I don't want to give it up to even like a 6 out of 6 ranged odd, right?
Uh-huh.
Uh, or if he has double plunge, um, Island's Might, or something of that nature. Also, even if Sundy just takes like 3 more damage, it's down to 3, he becomes even more of a liability. So I didn't really want that. So what I decided to go for instead, which we'll see in a moment, was using Varn, which does put him in the line of fire, puts him within reach of this Dancer and Roko to double hit. Um, but I figured, oh, 3 out of 4 melee to kill the sniper. I'll surround the gate and do a bunch of damage to it. There's 2 mistakes here I make on this turn. One is I didn't play Battle Leader because I didn't like the 10 out of 10 odds with the original line, and
Hmm.
I miscalculated that this actually changes the dice odds to be like I want to say 11 or 12 dice instead. It might be 12 dice, if I remember correctly, on the gate instead. So that would be good just to invest all that damage there. And then also, I could afford, I'm pretty sure, with the movement to just put something next to the sniper just in case. Maybe not. I think I had to use Collar to do it, but essentially giving myself insurance to kill this sniper because it's really important that he dies because then I remove one of his attacks and remove that ability from Roko. He can't get the sweet spot or whatever it's called, spot weakness.
Yeah. Okay.
We go fighter because it's the I common I have a duplicate of in my hand, so I kind of wanted to maintain some diversity
Oh,
there.
yeah,
And we roll the 2 out of
you
4,
expect
and
three
then
out of four, but don't always get it.
yeah, and here I think that a little bit of hindsight, but having if I had played the battle leader, would have had 4 extra dice on this gate, which is probably worth the battle leader.
Yeah.
Um, so that gate probably would have died. With hindsight, of course, if I had
Well, even
rolled,
even even now, oh, I'm saying it would have been four more dice, right? Three from the fighter and one from Sunderved.
yeah.
Yeah, probably.
Uh, but I mean, this is a little bit of hindsight, and I think also if you look at the flip side, if I whiff on the gate and I leave it at like 1 instead of 3, like as I have now, right? Then or like 1 instead of 4, whatever it is, right? Not having the battle leader kind of sucks, right? You're kind of trading the battle leader for dice that didn't really manifest. So there's an argument to it, but uh Varn not having backup to kill this sniper was tough.
Yeah. I think Nesle's in a tougher spot though. He does have the island's might, but he can't shoot through to try to clear a spot in the summon phase as he might like to. Still using the island's might. That's pretty much the only card he can play. But maybe setting up for a kill on Varn here.
Yep,
However,
8 dice on 4 health Varn.
yeah,
Well, 10 dice on 6 health Varn. Thankfully, he doesn't max roll, so that way Thundervid doesn't take 3 extra ranged here. But Varn does die, and then a little bit of chip on the fighter.
nevertheless, killing Varn important, but not making any progress on getting this gate open. I guess he's given up that gate for Lost, hoping to draw some more. He does get a couple, but
And he's discarded pretty heavily to
he's gonna
get it
have to
too.
really protect the spot where he places the gate, which is going to be difficult because you already have your goats swarming all over
Yep.
his side of the field.
And this was a tough turn to coordinate, just because like I want ideally the ideal goal of this turn is we kill the sniper, we kill the dancer, and we kill the gate. Because then even if he finds gates, he's got just Roko for a turn with no abilities. So and then the fallback was okay, if I don't I really want to kill the sniper and the dancer, but if I don't kill the gate, I gotta make sure it's blocked. Which Stronghold helps here.
Yeah.
So I end up using a combination of Battle Leader and Stronghold, I believe, along with I think a fighter and a caller.
Start with the Glory Caller to get Sunderved close. Also allows you to summon the fighter in the place where he was.
Yep.
Sunderved taking just one passive hit there. Ooh, no slinger required for that one.
Yep. The end result of this turn ends up kind of being as if I had required the slinger, because the slinger here hits 2, but the fighter whiffs.
Ah,
So the like
still need the
upside of if
Stronghold.
Sundervid 5 out of 5s doesn't really manifest
Yeah,
here because the I missed the 3 out of 5. But I mean, I just stronghold away, and I leave that fighter exposed at low health because like if he wants to hit Sundervid, he has to step up in a dangerous spot, and then my thought was like if he wants to hit the fighter, he has to go somewhere, and if he has 1 gate, then like that gate's going to be difficult with where Roko is to protect. But here, having 2 gates does help him a little bit in kind of getting some better gate spots and threatening more
well,
things
there's also
against
the option
Sundy.
of just moving up here, putting the gate up here, where it's a bit harder for you to surround it. I feel like anywhere in these back 2 ranks is not safe. Let's see where he ends up putting him. Interesting.
He ends up making this little bunker for Roko to kind of hunker down in.
Yeah,
Um,
and the way they're offset, it's a lot of spots for you to have to cover, probably more than you can.
yep. Especially with like me just having strongholded away, so I don't have any summon spots on that left side of the field. I only have summon spots around my 10 gate at the moment.
No ramming advance to get him down there. Not yet.
Also, he's got 9 magic here, so I haven't seen a plunge, haven't seen Y Twee. So here, uh, calculated that out of that summon spot, really nothing scary can go hit Sundervid. And also, I would rather him summon a crab in front of Roko, not summon a crab behind Roko, because uh, like I would rather kill the crab than chip Roko with tough, right?
Yeah. Unbeknownst to you, at the time, the octopus monster is not going to make it out this game. He went for Taranga instead. I think we'll. Oh no, going for 2 Crab Knights instead. Well, Roko is feeling safe at least, and it's not going to be quick or easy for you to dispatch double Crab Knights.
Yeah, so here we're kind of just in the holding pattern almost of like, okay, well, the octopus threat's gone. 5 magic could be Taranga, can just be more crabs or like a Sokka, but we're kind of just in the, well, he's in a corner. We're gonna crowd his gate spots and just kind of force trades because he had to discard so heavily, we kind of got an econ advantage. And still, if I kill this Crab Knight and there's a 1 HP collar in front of this other Crab Knight, there's really not much he can hit that's valuable. Sunday can't die from a single non-white Wii hit here. So, yeah. End up just going for some more gate crowding.
Okay.
That slinger is just there to kind of get him out of my hand, and then also, if I whiff the 5 out of 7, then I can go and use the slinger instead of doing something else. This should have been a slinger hit, just so that way I could use the spider on the gate instead.
On the gate, yeah.
So instead we just get a little glory collar chip. And that gate is there to reinforce the fighter, so in case he like summons something and kills the fighter, I can still manage to crowd the gate.
Taranga is a great way to spend that extra magic you got in the end game, but it looks like Nestle's realized he's probably not going to win on Econ. He needs to get Sunderved low enough that hope that you make a mistake and leave him exposed somewhere. Although he did just bury his plunge, so I'm not sure
I
how
think he
that
was
would
kind of
come to
going for
be.
like an econ plan here. Like if I don't 1-turn kill Taranga, then Sunday needs to run away and put things in the way. I also don't know if he has a plunge left. Like
That's
the
true.
things that I know he could have are he's used both Waveborn, that he likely would have played a Spite Skin at this point.
Yeah.
So there's possible plunge lines, which I've been playing around thus far, so could still have it. Saka Ua is also possible here,
Yeah.
as well as any of his commons, but most likely, like, he's played 2 crabs, there might be a third one lingering. Yeah, don't really know exactly what he's got going on here, but basically, at this point, I kind of go, well, I kind of just need to, like, I could get out traded here even with the crazy econ lead I have, if Sundervin needs to run away, because my units just become so weak without him. And if I don't kill Taranga like immediately, he's gonna get like turns of spending this magic value going on while my units just kind of die, and I'm also running out of units.
Yeah.
So I basically just commit to using Marshall here, plus Brute and Sundervid, and a collar, to try to 1-turn kill Taranga, give him a 3 out of 3 sword if I don't get the odds on it, but otherwise kind of just box him into his little corner that he's made.
Important to get the collar to block here, so there's not a Crab Knight that slips by to get Sunderved.
Or even like Sokka, because like Roko could attack his own gate or something, or his own Crab Knight to like force her to move. So would not want to give like a random assassination line from Sokka Ua out.
Yeah.
I was debating of whether or not this was actually the right move to hit this gate, and I decided ultimately it's probably worth it just because it's better, I think, to deny the gate summon spots that are in front there, because I'm going to run out of units. pretty shortly here. So here we just go for 8 dice on the crab, and if we hit the 5 out of 8, then he is yet again kind of stuck with either summoning outside of where it's going to be relevant or just summoning in this file.
Just got it.
And we discard the ramming so we can have the root next turn.
This is Rokomoko's Thermopylae here. Oh, yeah, so he's actually going to block that space too to try to be more efficient with his attacks, I guess.
Yeah, I think so. And I mean, it forces me to like, I have the brute, thankfully, so that way I'm not like feeding a slinger. And instead of attacking 2 tough targets or getting like 6 dice on the crab, I decide just push the brute, which forces a unit behind the crab, and then just dump like 9 dice into Roko.
Yep, no more draw piles for either player. It's all out on the table now. No more hands.
Yeah, we're just duking it out.
Think you've got a bit of a numbers advantage here.
Just a little bit. The goat specialty.
Yeah. Using the brute last so you can change targets in case there wasn't a chance.
That, and also just if the chance that a slinger full whiffs is higher than brute full whiffs. So if we attack slinger with slinger first,
right. The way the tough ability works, it's about the first attack. That's right.
yeah. And then here we decide, you know what? If I can't hit a 2 out of 10, I don't deserve to win the game.
Sunderved's gonna make it personal.
Yeah. If
There it
Thundervid
is.
misses the 1 out of 4,
He's got one more
then
slinger to back him up. Yeah.
exactly. If I miss the 1 out of 7 there, then I think that I'm all right with losing that game.
Well, congratulations! You've made it through to the finals. Well played.
Yeah, it was
And
a
it was
fun
just
game.
a real
Exciting.
Vargath of a game. Just moving forward, moving in packs or maybe in herd, I should say, in your formations. Surrounded the gate. Nesle just didn't really have a chance to get much going. You had that early ramming speed that kind of launched you into his zone, and it was kind of all over from there. I think this might have been his last chance here. Would have been that somehow he fails to kill Taranga, and then Taranga gets a 3 out of 3 on Sunderved, kind of hoping for some good dice, but you gotta play to your outs. So
Yeah. Also, if I didn't have the martial forces there, I don't think I can do that play because then, I mean, the brute would be a space back, and he could just summon a crab for the same 3 out of 3.
yeah,
So
that's true.
I think here the variance was a bit on dice because he did have some pretty unfortunate whiffs, but also I think more so was I had a bit of an advantage just on the draw order, like him not drawing a gate until it was like he had like 7 cards left in deck. It, is always rough, but is especially
Yeah.
rough when your singleton gate is being crowded and destroyed. That, and also I think generally I kind of had the cards I needed to answer his counter punches. Like I mean, turn 2, I drew the ramming I needed to kind of get into the IV territory, and then turn 3, after he half health Sunday and sent him ages away, I had Marshall, Gate, and Stronghold in order to establish this forward position and kill both of his units. Like the difference between this turn and the turn after the turn after is just huge.
Yeah, agreed.
So yeah, I would say mostly just like a good draw order versus an unfortunate draw order is probably like the biggest play of variance there. But yeah, it was a very fun game. Also, this is the 3rd game, which of the 3 games that I played because I had a bye round 1, that I've used ramming advance in the first 2 turns.
Wow.
So,
Nice
if
to draw it
one,
early. Yeah.
very lucky to draw it early. And actually, sorry, I apologize. The first game against Sand Goblins was not within the first 2 turns, but I basically like the first like 3 or 4 turns of that game, maybe 5 even, were just me kind of sitting around waiting for it. So every game has
Well,
been at least
there's
decided by ramming
yeah,
advance.
there's 2 copies of it. I think you think your odds are actually pretty decent drawing it within the first few turns
Yeah,
when
especially
there's
if you're
two
pushing your
copies.
hand.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's been like I forget where. I think it might have been on like the podcast at some point, but there was discussion about ramming advance not being a great card, or at the very least being a card that's like so situational that like you kind of just discard it unless you see a good use for it. But I have to disagree. I mean, there are board states where it's not good, and like those are pretty easy to be like, I don't need this now, and I can discard it. If you're already up in their business or the board's really closed with a lot of gates, then yeah, it's
Or if
not
they're up in your
gonna do
business.
things. Yeah, that too. Um, Although that can sometimes be funny where you can ramming advance like to reposition from like the left to the right side of the
Yeah,
battlefield or like that
yeah,
kind of thing.
that can happen.
But like, I mean, it's a card that I think has decided every game thus far. The whole strategy against sand goblins is built around it. It's incredibly helpful in the Grokes match just to accelerate getting to them before they can farm too many boosts. And here it gave me the gate pressure and the kind of reduced the IV ranged game. Basically, if they're no longer playing ranged, they're playing uh, melee, but with weaker dice.
Okay, well we'll look forward to the finals and see if this card can take you to victory one more time.
Yeah, we'll see.
All right. Well, thanks for coming on. It's been a great analysis. Always love to have you on here. And thanks again to all of our viewers. We will see you next time for more Faction Masters.